So I want to talk about Johnny Walker's performance in the main event from this past Saturday in Shanghai. But obviously we have this Roger Jackson situation going on. I've been doing a lot of research into it. I've watched that clip numerous times, and the police are now investigating the situation. So um, I'll probably end up making a few more videos on that topic, as well as we don't have any fights this week. So, yeah, we'll see what we cover over the week. But again, we're never really down on MMA news. But, I really want to give Johnny Walker credit for this fight because this was a fight that obviously, we knew that this fight would end in a finish. Zhang Mingyang, chinnable. Johnny Walker, very chinnable. But what led majority of people to pick Zhang Mingyang, if this will load, is obviously the amount of first time finishes this guy had. Ugh. Oh my stomach is in horrible past 3 days. I don't know what it is. I'm eating much better than I usually do. That might be a change in diet, but it's been pretty horrific, man. But like you look at Zhang Mingyang going into this fight, had three first round knockouts to begin his UFC career, four if you count two Tokos on. Oh, um, if you count the road to the UFC. But this guy is an animal, right? You look at him. I really like how many second rounds has he been in? One, um, two, three. So he lost his debut by guillotine. He um got TKO'd in the second round, and then in this fight, he got finished in the second round after the leg kicks really got to him, which that was the major factor I saw in that second round because I thought he had an unbelievable first round. Again, the fight starts off, Johnny Walker fumbles a takedown, um, ends up in a horrible position. And I thought he'd be finished right then and there, but to his credit, Johnny Walker looked more engaged and more technical than he usually is. And it was a much different looking Johnny Walker from like after the first minute up until the finish of the fight. And, you know, we're going to get into the hype that this guy got. But I mean, again, nobody picked him to win this fight. Nearly a plus 300 dog. And we know the story of Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker got a lot of notoriety around, I believe, 2018, 2017, when he was racking up a bunch of first round finishers. They said he'd be the next John Jones, and he would beat John Jones, which was ridiculous at the time. Uh, Still ridiculous now, but I mean, this guy is a monster. Knocks out Khalil Roundtree in the first round with an elbow. First round win over Justin Wedded. First round over Misha Kirkonov with a flying knee. And then he runs into Corey Anderson, gets finished in the first round. But he initially got fraud checked there, you can say. But Corey Anderson was at the top of his division, went on to win the belt over in Bellator, and he also dropped a fight to Nikita Krylov. He did KO Ryan Spann before Ryan Spann moved up to heavyweight, and after that, lost to Thiago Santos by unanimous decision and got TKO'd by Jamal Hill in the first round. And, at this stage in 2022, it looked like, all hope was gone for him. Um, Again, a tremendous amount of hype around him from the fans, from the organization, and he's able to come back submit Kutalaba in the first round, which is a really good win. He KO'd Paul Craig, which Paul Craig, it's a good win to have. Paul Craig in 2023, though, over the last 2 years has not been the same, obviously, and he beat Anthony Smith in 2023 as well. He had a no contest against Uncle Ive. I thought that was what exactly that was about. They had a rematch where Uncle Ive knocked him out with the right hard uppercut combination in the second round. And before that, he got KO'd by Walker Newsman. And, you know, again, going into this fight, you're going into enemy territory against a major prospect within the 205 division, a guy that, before I guess last Saturday, I truly believe that Zhang Mingyang was going to become a top ranked contender. I really think still Zhang Mingyang is one of the best fighters to come out of this region, and I totally get why they had him in the main event right there. And anything happens in that cage. Once again, it was the leg kicks from only 13 of them, but it. Oh, good lord, indigestion. Um, it completely immobilized them, and man, this is one of my favorite things about this sport, though. This really is, and we're going to move on to Zhang Mingyang. I love the stories of the guys who break in, get fraud checked, or however you want to say it, and they're able to have these kind of performances. Dominic Reyes, as of recently, he's on his revenge tour, and you also have to bring up, which I was going to bring up after. Um, this guy just had a kid. Now we know what having a kid has done to a lot of fighters. Oliveira, went on to win the title, but he got pictures with I believe his daughter, his wife there, and yeah, a restaurant, doing their thing in that. Adorable kid, and you know, that definitely changes a fighter's mentality. How old is Johnny Walker? I think he's 33. Yeah, 33. March. Man, there's the same birthday month as me. Um, but you know, when you get to that stage where you've been in the UFC for a while, you're an established name, you had some success, you've had some setbacks, but now you're at a stage where, hey, I have my daughter now. I believe, yeah, it's his daughter, right? And I gotta do the best I can to rack up these wins, rack up some money, and give my daughter the best race she can. And you know, it's something I will never attack any man for doing it. One of the biggest things that I judge a man off of, if he has a daughter, like how is he in that dynamic? Because that can tell you absolutely everything about a man right there. Um, and you also need to talk about his brother, on the other hand, which we can look him up as well. Um, Walter Walker, who he just debuted A few months ago, I think, right? It debuted. Maybe even a few weeks ago. I can't keep track of time. Yeah, in July. He held Kennedy in a triple one. Oh, never mind. He's been in the UFC for a while. What am I saying? Um, but he's gone on an incredible run, three first round finishes, and this is the other thing that you gotta factor in, right? Like having your brother in the same company, in the same sport, in the division ahead of you. You know, you're training with him. He gets the game that you're playing in that, and this is another factor of it. Because only lost this to Lucas Brzezinski in that fight back in April. Um, but other than that, his brother has been an absolute monster, especially recently. I think Kennedy Nzechukwu looked amazing at heavyweight. I thought that his transition to heavyweight was genius, especially with, you look at the competition inside the heavyweight division. It's not the best, but that division is getting better and better each month, I do believe. And I think within the next year, we are going to have a stacked heavyweight division. Hopefully, we bring in more guys from other promotions. Rico Verhoeven, he's been the heavyweight gold champ for 10 years now, ever since 2015. He just beat Artem Bakadov, but he's a guy that I really want to see come into the UFC, and I think coming in the heavyweight division, there are a lot of grapplers, but I don't think the grappling threat is major at heavyweight. But this is big, man. This is a big change for a guy that desperately needed it, right? Because what was he before the Corey Anderson fight? He was 16-3, and over the last few years, dropped to 22-9. But again, who's the mere veteran of the division? Uncle Life, current champion. Jamal Hill, former champion. Thiago Santos, former title contender. You know, these aren't bad losses to have. This guy still has been competitive in this division. It's what I noticed the difference in that fight after, that little worrisome moment to begin the fight. He looked much more technical. He looked much more calmer and, waiting for things to go his way and waiting for his opportunity, which I think has been his biggest issue throughout all of his fights. Is, he gets overconfident. He's trying to go for a major, shot. And I think, really marketable again with his brother now. He actually I gotta bring this up. Uh he posted a video. It was during Fight Week, right? And it was with his brother. There's another girl, and now that I'm talking about this video, it's not gonna load. That's cool. But let's see if I can find it here. I died laughing from it. Where is it here? Um, is it in here? No, it got robbed there too. Shoot, dang it! Where? Um, this is funny. This is actually really funny. Before the play. I mean, hey, it worked. It worked. I don't like those fighters, but it worked. Um, but okay, why is everything in Chinese? What? I just what? Why is my entire Instagram in Chinese now? I okay, but I wanted to show you that video, but I mean, once again, man, you know, it's nice to see a dominant champion. It's nice to see, top contenders like Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, who come out, maybe they never win a belt, but they rack up wins, they rack up a lot of finishes over a lot of guys. I'm always a fan of these guys who, they have their initial run, they have their setback, and then they find these major wins. They give them the potential to completely turn it around. And again, part of that is, having your kid there. But I mean, it was an unbelievable win for Johnny Walker. I thought he had no real chance in this fight. I thought that Zhang Mingyang was going to knock him out within, the first two rounds and that. But Zhang Mingyang as well also has a history of being shunned. But I mean, you know, this is a win that this guy really needed, and he needed to get it in that kind of fashion. And moving forward, man, in the light heavyweight division, I guess we can end off there. I'll have to pull up the 205 rankings. But yeah, I think there's a very clear fight that I want to see, that I want them to build up with Johnny Walker, and it's not gonna come to a surprise to a lot of you, but like you look at actually whatever. You look over here, we got Uncle Ives the champ, Pereira, Yuri, Alberg is right there who just beat Uh, Jan Bohovic, round three, number four, just beat Hill. Those guys that I just mentioned, Rakic, you have Reyes on his way back to the title. Well, I wouldn't do this fight immediately, but I think that Johnny Walker versus Dominic Reyes, if you are able to turn that fight into a number one contender fight, the storyline you have going into that of Dominic Reyes, should have been the champion in his fight against John Jones, like two guys that had relatively the same setback. Both were knockout machines when they broke onto the scene. Um, but that's I would understand it. I want them to say that if I'm really being honest. But for Johnny Walker, you know, um, Murzakanov, no. Well, like you look at the names there, Uzdemir, who we lost to. Maybe he wants to get that one back. Um, Murzakanov, Gurskov. I would be looking um right here from like the 12 to 7 Rakic. That could be a fun fight. What was Rakic's last fight was? Oh yeah, he just fought the champ too. That would be honestly, that's what I would do. I don't think no, they haven't fought in the past. Well, like you look at Rakic lately, lost to Uzman as well, beat Smith, beat Santos, lost to Vlahovic, lost to Yuri, and you know, oh, he has done a three fight wars. Maybe they actually do it though. If he is on a three-fight losing streak, it kind of makes sense. Now that I'm thinking about it, I that probably is the fight they're gonna do. Like if I was Walker, that'd be the fight that I want because it'd be a stand-up fight. I think he has a pretty good shot against Rakic. Um, but I mean, again, too, it's if he's able to get back into that top 10, he definitely has one of the better stories in this division. Olberg, should be fighting for a title rubber too soon. Isn't he booked for a fight? I think he's booked against. No, he's not. I thought Olberg got booked for a fight. I guess not. Um, but yeah, I I really think this light heavyweight division, even with Pereira most likely moving up to the heavyweight division, win or lose, um, there's a lot of good names, and whether it's Uncle Live, whether it's Yuri Prohaska, I think that this is going to be a really competitive division. Um, not what it was, in the Jones DC era, but I think there are a lot of solid contenders that have knockout power. We got a couple grapplers in here as well. With I will Kyle is moving out there, but I mean, I love the story of a comeback. I love the underdog, man, and I want to see Johnny Walker going around. I really do. But I wanted to talk about this fight now that I have a little bit of time to do so. But let me know, what did you think about Johnny Walker's performance against Zhang Mingyang? Were you surprised? And what would you do next now that you have, the new father, the guy who just got a major knockout to rebound and, you know, wants to take that motivation and making another run here and maybe getting to the stardom that we all thought he was capable of to begin with. But let me know what you think down below. Thanks for watching. Um, I'm waiting on more information on the Raja Jackson situation. I'm waiting for whatever the charges he will be facing because police are looking into that. I will do an update whenever I can on that. But that's what I got for now. Later.